What's going on, everyone? It is Luca here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. In this one, I wanted to take a look at the Toronto Raptors, and I wanted to basically tell you how I see them stacking up in the Eastern Conference, as a couple of media outlets have come out with their predictions for this upcoming season. And let's just say the media pundits outside of Canada do not have this Raptors team faring well, and we are going to talk about it, and then I'll give you my take on all of that as well. Before we get into it, guys, please do me a solid, hit a like on the video. It does help a ton, and please subscribe to the channel for more Raptors and NBA content just like this. So ESPN has the Raptors finishing 12th for the season at 36-46, and this is what they said, and I quote: "The Raptors, for their part, seem to be on the downswing after an up and down 41-41 season and a play-in loss to Chicago that resulted in the dismissal of longtime coach Nick Nurse, who directed the team to an NBA title in 2019. In the offseason, Toronto lost point guard Fred VanVleet in free agency and replaced him with Dennis Schroeder as the team continues to try to find an identity with three ball-dominant wings in OG Anunoby, Scottie Barnes, and Pascal Siakam. At a projected record of 36-46, it would be Toronto's second worst record since 2011-2012. Close quote. Now, I can see where the media pundits are coming from. The East has gotten a whole lot better, and the Raptors didn't necessarily get better. They lost VanVleet for nothing in free agency. They still lack direction and have many other question marks, like who's going to start for this team? If Scottie Barnes is indeed the point guard, will it work? Is Scottie Barnes going to take a year 3 leap? Will OG Anunoby and Gary Trent Jr. increase their scoring averages? Will the Raptors' offense shooting be even worse without VanVleet? Will the bench be good? Will Darko Rajakovic get the most out of this roster? And will Barnes and Siakam be able to coexist at a high level? Now, I think the Raptors' success for the season will boil down to if Scottie Barnes takes a big third-year leap. Scottie won Rookie of the Year, and then he had an underwhelming second year. A lot of people thought he was going to make that jump last season. Just didn't happen. This third year will be make or break for Barnes' development. And if Barnes does take a massive third-year leap while Siakam plays at an all-NBA level and both show they can coexist, the Raptors will exceed expectations. I think OG Anunoby can break out as well as a 20-point scorer, and Gary Trent Jr. can have his best season yet as a starter. Both are expected to get more touches with Fred VanVleet gone. And I do think this bench can be good. Haven't had bench mob vibes in a while in Toronto, but the Raptors' bench pieces do look promising. If Dennis Schroeder is the backup point guard and the sixth man of this team, I think he's going to do a good job leading that second unit. You have pieces like rookie Grady Dick, Otto Porter Jr. if healthy, McDaniels, Boucher, Achua, and even Koloko. I think the defense will be solid for this team, but it's their offense that I'm still concerned about. How is this offense going to look? Is the flow of the offense going to look good? And is this offense going to avoid being stagnant, as we saw it very stagnant at times last season? The East has gotten better, so let's take a look to see how the Raptors stack up, and I've broken things down into tiers. This is how I see things for the season. In tier 1, I have the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. I think these are the clear two best teams in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee didn't do a whole ton. They did bring in a new head coach, an Adrian Griffin, ex-Raptor, but I think they will be back and they will redeem themselves after getting embarrassed in the first round by the Miami Heat. The Boston Celtics will be as advertised. I think they're going to be very good. I think they're going to be the best team in the East. I know KP's health is going to be a big question mark for them, but if healthy, the Boston Celtics will be the team to beat in the Eastern Conference and maybe even in the entire NBA. Okay, next in tier 2, I have the Miami Heat. And by the way, if the Miami Heat do trade for Damian Lillard before the season starts, I would have Miami in tier 1. But as of now, I'll show some respect to the defending Eastern Conference champs, have them in tier 2 because you just can't count out or bet against this Miami Heat team. I got the 76ers still in tier 2. I know there's a lot of stuff going on with James Harden and Daryl Morey, but I don't think the Sixers are going to fall off that badly. The Cavaliers I have in the second tier as well. I do like their pickup of Max Strus. I got the Knicks and then the Hawks wrapping up tier 2. I don't think the Knicks are going to fall back. I do think the Knicks are going to be just as good. I really like Jalen Brunson, what he's been able to do. He's turned into the go-to guy for that franchise. And the Atlanta Hawks, I think they needed to make a big trade. Obviously, Pascal Siakam his name was rumored to the Hawks. And if the Hawks were able to trade for a guy like Siakam, I would actually have the Hawks a potential tier 1 or upper tier 2. But as of now, I do think the Hawks could be a team that either takes a step forward or takes a step back. Okay, next in tier 3, I got the Raptors, followed by the Nets, Bulls, Magic, and Pacers. So when you look at this tier 3, it's interesting because I think the Brooklyn Nets are still going to be good. Mikal Bridges, he showed a lot of good things. He can be a superstar type of player for the Nets. The Bulls are probably going to fall back, but I still have them in this tier 3. Wouldn't be surprised if they fall to this final tier, which I'm about to reveal. And then the Magic and Pacers, these are two interesting teams. These are two teams that ESPN actually has occupying the last 2 play-in spots. And I'm actually really high on the Magic and Pacers. Now, the likelihood of both of these teams making a jump at the same time are slim, but I think one of these teams will make a jump. And if I had to say, I'm a little higher on the Magic than I am on the Pacers, but I think both of these teams are going to be much better than a season ago. So that's my tier 3. And then tier 4, essentially being the worst of the worst, the bottom 3 teams in the East: Pistons, Wizards, Hornets. So those are my 4 tiers, essentially. So I have the Raptors in the play-in picture, but it's going to be tough. Like I said, ESPN has the Magic and Pacers taking leaps, and I do think both of those teams will be better. If both of them do leap at the same time, that might actually leave the Raptors with very little room to make the play-in. The Raptors would need to be better than at least 2 of the teams I've listed in tier 3 just to make the play-in tournament. Now, the Raptors can be better than the Bulls, even though the Bulls beat them in the play-in, but I don't know if they can be better than the Nets yet, Magic, or Pacers. I think the Nets won't be as bad with Bridges. And then, yeah, the Pacers and the Magic, if they do leap, that's going to be awfully tough because those are 2 very good, young, talented rosters. And I think a team that will surprise people will be the Magic. Banchero and Wagner, very underrated duo in the East. And I think Banchero can be that guy, that superstar level player for the Magic. Now, I'll do a separate video with my full predictions, but ultimately, I can see the Raptors battling for 8 to 10. Now, the best case for the Raptors is if the Bulls, Hawks, Nets, Knicks regress. So a couple of playoff teams from a season ago and playing teams regress, and the Magic and Pacers don't take a leap, and the Raptors sneak into the 6th spot. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, playoff teams don't regress, Magic and Pacers both take leaps, and the Raptors miss out on the play-in and playoffs entirely, and that's what ESPN sees. So, again, I understand why media outlets are underestimating this Raptors team, writing them off. It's going to be one of those things that you just got to wait and see. Now, the Raptors do play their best when they are flying under the radar, when people aren't talking about them. So they're going to have that going for them because, like, a lot of people, not even just these media outlets, a lot of people don't think the Raptors are going to be a playoff team, let alone a play-in team. And we know when the Raptors have their backs up against the wall and they don't have a lot of attention, they go out there and show you otherwise. So we will see what happens. I'm very interested to see how the season goes. It's going to be one of those things that, yeah, you just got to wait and see if this team's going to gel from the get-go, if guys are going to take leaps, if the fluidity of the offense is going to be there, if the bench is going to be good. Because if those things happen, then the Raptors have a chance to be a very competitive team in the East. But at the same time, if things are slow out of the gate, the identity continues to be at a loss, guys don't take that next step, main guy being Scotty Barnes, it might be a long season for the Toronto Raptors and their fans. So we'll see how it all plays out. But where do you see the Raptors stacking up in the East? What do you think of my tiers? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit a like and subscribe on your way out. I'll definitely have more Raptors and NBA content as we get closer to the start of the season. I know we still got about like a month left before we get into the final stretch before the season starts. But yeah, I'm definitely going to still have content on this channel. So keep it locked and loaded with yours truly. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, be well, and I will catch you all again in the next video.